My point is, we have just recently hired lawnmowers for $8.25 an hour, which there's no life-saving skills there unless you require the bunny rabbits to get out of the way before they run him over with the lawnmower. These lifeguards have an important job.
These guys do more than mow lawns.
Yes,
So,
yes.
I realize that I'm talking about the life-saving skills. But the lifeguards also do more than just lifeguard too.
And not to make it look bad or anything, but you know, I'm a EMT. I pay for my own license. I get paid $4 an hour to go to a call. And it's not because I want more money for it. It's because it's in my heart. That's what I want to do. You know, so and I don't go down there and tell them I want more money because I'm not going to do it because you're not paying me enough. I do it because it's in my heart. I would hope that some of this is in their, it has to be in their heart, obviously, to do it if they want to.
It takes a certain type to be a
I
lifeguard,
understand that.
yes.
It does take a certain type of person to do that. So.
And I think that we should appreciate that in these kids, because there's not a lot of kids that want to do that.
I think there's plenty to do.
It's fine to do, but I think that we're looking at
That are capable.
about 20 to 25%
We had problems with other lifeguards last
We
year.
didn't give any city
I agree.
leadership.
Okay,
I agree.
So then we're down to 3 or 4 that we would've. so,
That have worked with us in the past, and now they can't work for us anymore, you know? So I see both sides of it. You know, we have experienced lifeguards that we didn't hire back this year.
because we might have had a problem with them.
Well, I came and asked if you had a problem with Molly, and nobody said yes.
Oh, I was not asked, so.
Did you have a problem?
Wait a minute here, back up. If we're going to discuss Molly, which obviously this is becoming a personal issue, Molly was not hired because she didn't do anything wrong. Molly was hired because she has already graduated from high school and we had new guards
I
coming
understand
in.
perfectly what you're talking about, but I just don't agree with your policy. And she would be willing to work for the wages that we have here set before. Not the wages that you want to increase to, but you won't let her. See, that's my point.
We didn't hire three or four Lake View kids because they didn't live in Wall Lake.
Well, you know, half of these kids don't really live in Wall Lake where anybody pays utilities or property taxes in Wall Lake, if you want to look at it that way.
But a lot of them have grandparents that are.
Well, I agree. They're members of our community. They're rural members of our community, but if you want to get specific about living in Wall Lake, half of these kids don't either.
I know, I just don't want it to become a personal issue. Because Molly wasn't hired, not hired because she did
I
something
understand
wrong.
what you said. All I'm saying is we have people that are willing to work for the other wages. Why do we have to increase them?
Well, I bet if you asked Molly which wage she would prefer, she'd take the higher wage.
Well, yeah.
I don't think she's stupid. But, you know, just because, I mean, Rick wants more wages too. So does Darrell for each one of these meetings. I mean, I went through the investment of sending my daughter down to Carroll to do all this stuff too.
Right.
And I paid for the gas for her to drive down there too. And I really would be willing to have her continue to work there, but you won't let her, you know, so, you know, we have turned away some of these
It's
people.
not that we won't let
No,
her, it's because we
No,
had
you won't let her
to
because-
hire new ones. We have 4 brand new ones coming in this year.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a rotation at some point in time, and the guards are aware of that. I mean, it's for the last couple of years, and same thing, we tell them every single time. We don't deter them from applying because they are a college student, but they are aware that if there are new applicants coming in, there has to become a time when we turn over.
That's the
And
first
not
time-
that-
That's the first time I've heard that. You guys adopted this new policy this year about high school.
No, it was last year as well.
Beth,
Yeah.
hasn't there always been a problem as far as getting ready with the college students not being
Well,
there?
they're not always available to come and help, no, and then many times
And then they
have
leave
to-
early.
To leave, well, and they're graduating seniors, they have to leave early too. Yeah. But that's not what we're discussing at this point anyway.
I guess I'm looking at a 20 to 25% raise. They already had built in a 50-cent raise an hour from going from year 1 to year 2. And then we got bumped up, another 50 cents, so they got a dollar raise actually from going from year 1 to year 2, right?
Unfortunately, the wages were too low to start with.
Well, not compared to some of the other towns around.
All Lakeview were right on the money.
Yeah, for the lake.
The lake.
Which I believe is a different
That's,
story.
well, that's a lot different story.
I believe the lake is a different
But they don't do
story.
as much, you wanna talk about what they do, they sit there. They don't do the manual labor that our lifeguards have to do.
Well, if they wouldn't be doing that manual labor, they wouldn't be working,
Yeah.
correct?
Correct.
Okay. If we had somebody else do it, they wouldn't have a job, or the hours.
Well, and the lifeguards don't really get that many hours. It's 22, probably to 28 apiece, depending on if they've had to trade or make a schedule adjustment because somebody was gone or...
How many people are down there on the weekend?
On a weekend,
Yeah,
we have 4 guards.
that's it.
Yes.
No waiting session stand and all that stuff.
We have kind of a new system this year. 2 guards, we have 2 guard chairs that are outside of the pool. Then we have 2 additional guards. 1 guard is in the concession stand, the other one is in a chair on the deck because we need someone to watch the waiting pool as well as the kids in the food stand or food area and around the deck, which the guards, when they're in the chairs, they can't see what's going on in the other areas. So we have kind of a,
There's only 4 of them there.
and it requires all 4 of them to remove those tarps and put the tarps on. But we did used to have the city come like that. You guys, remember that, Mark, when you guys used to have to go down and pull the pool tarps every morning? I guess we could go back to having them do that.
With the stands that took over.
All they do is cut out a
Terrible.
half hour of their time or what?
It's-
Just cut out a half hour of your guard's time?
It's not, no, I'm just saying, it's not an
How
easy
how much time
job.
would it cut out of your guard's time if you had the city guys do
I
that?
think it's more about the job than the time.
Right.
Well, there should be some savings on it, there shouldn't there?
Well, you wouldn't pay the guards when they come into it, probably.
Yeah, so you could cut your kids out more hours. If you did that and take the tarps off. I think you did that so you could give the kids more hours.
Not necessarily. It was just an inconvenience for the city guys to have to come down and do it all the time.
And they're gonna be there anyway, and they're capable of doing it, so why shouldn't they do it? Then-
Right.
So I'll tell you, I personally take it as a personal insult from our city manager, and that's because I've been on the pool for 30 years. I joined the pool committee in 1980, and I've been on it for an entire 30 years. And then this thing comes up, and it's directed from our city administrator, nobody else, and then all of a sudden, you guys don't want to have any committees in this town, and she says nobody can volunteer down there, but nothing happened at the park. Everybody went up to the park and volunteered, right, Francis?
Yeah.
All right, we had some people want to go to the pool and volunteer. Our city administrator jumped in front of that.
Who was volunteering on the pool? What down there?
Kenny Harms was down there fixing the ladders. His own time, his own energy.
I'm not sure explanation of that.
He was doing more than fixing the ladders.
Well, yeah, he was down there helping Joe out. So anyway, Joe didn't get his work done because he didn't know how to get it all completed in time.
And furthermore, John, I had absolutely nothing to do with his wages. I had nothing to do with any of this.
This,
I
that we're
stand,
talking about right here,
exactly.
you're correct. The
You are
pool board
incorrect.
committee made this.
That's right. You guys made that decision. I had nothing to do with it. I have no part in any of this. I stand alone stating to you, I had no opinion in the wages that you paid the lifeguards, nor did I have any opinion in the lifeguards you hired, or Joe Tanga being hired or fired, or Robin Farnwell being hired. Period. No comment. Then how do you figure this is an insult to you?
Well, why is the committee here begging the city council to approve these wages when we've done this for
The wages are way out of line. I don't care how many years you did it, John, the wages are way out of line compared to what we paid any other city worker here this year for wages. The most we went up was a 5.5 or a 6% raise, and these things are 25% raises.